Welcome to the December 11th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. A meeting was held at 6 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall for clarification of the agenda. The following is the official agenda of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Discussion commission action will be limited to those items on the agenda. Any citizen who wishes to address the commission shall first be recognized by the chair and shall give his or her name for the record. If a citizen wishes to read documentation of any sort to the commission, he or she shall first seek permission from the chair. There is a 3-minute time limit for public testimonies to the commission. Agenda 1, roll call. Ason, will you call roll?
Here, and I personally reviewed both applicants' properties, and I don't have anything to declare.
Benjamin Gomez?
Here, I have nothing to declare.
Adam Dyer?
Here, nothing to disclose.
Marjane Tulip?
Present, and I visited the property on agenda item number 3. Nothing else to disclose.
Annie Mendoza?
Here, I have nothing to disclose.
Desiree Valladolid?
Here, and I have nothing to disclose.
And we have Richard Phillips excused this evening.
Okay, we'll continue on to agenda item number 2, approval of the minutes. The commission may wish to approve the minutes from the clarification and regular meetings held September 11th, 2024. Is there any discussion by the commission?
Will you entertain a motion?
I will entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes for September 11th, 2024 as presented.
I second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Hewitt and a second by Gomez.
Bartu?
Here, yes.
Gomez?
Yes.
Dyer?
Yes.
Hewlett?
Yes.
Mendoza?
Yes.
Valladolid?
Yes.
Okay. Move on to public hearing. Just a reminder, the application presentation is limited to 10 minutes. There is a 3-minute limit on public testimony. Those presenting or testifying will state your name for the record. While given testimony, questions and comments shall be pertinent to the application and shall be addressed only to the commission. During the public hearing, there shall be no questions, comments, or applause from the audience. Should the meeting go longer than 8, commission may take a scheduled 10-minute break.
I'll go till late.
Commission members must make their decision regarding the application on facts already in the record and information presented during the public hearing. Protocol requires the commission members and audience be recognized by the commission chair prior to speaking. So we're on agenda item number 3, public hearing map amendment. This time has been set aside for the commission to hear comments from the public regarding map amendment application submitted by Brandon DeFosse. The subject property, known as 155 Willard Avenue, entails 0.3 acres more or less, where half is zoned residential medium density single family and half is zoned commercial general with the future land use designation of residential. The request is to rezone the GC portion to the property to RMS. So at this time, I'd like to call up the applicant.
Brandon DeFosse, and I am here for the 155 Willard. We are looking to just rezone to put a single-family home on it. It was zoned commercial, and so we're just looking to change that to fit with what's around the 4 or 5 adjoining property houses with it. So.
Does anybody have any questions for applicant? Ask staff to come up this time.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair and members of the Commission. Jim Anglesey, Long Range Planner for the City of Pocatello. Before you is an application for a zone map amendment for 155 Willard Avenue. The southern portion of the property is currently zoned commercial general, and the applicant desires to rezone it to RMS, or residential medium density single family. The future land use, the request is compliant with the future land use map, which calls for residential on this property. And so staff concludes that the proposed zone map amendment is compliant with Pocatello City Code Section 1702-170E. And that concludes my remarks. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
I have a question for you. So, given the future land use map, is the city's plan to, at some point, change all of this? Or do you have to wait for individual applications to come forward? Or, I mean, if that's where we're going to go with this, why don't we just rezone that whole thing?
Currently, we don't have any plans to do a citywide rezone or this area until we look at our zoning ordinance rewrite with the smart code and form-based code. But this map will help guide that.
Okay.
That discussion. But at this time, this is more for individual property owners wishing to rezone their properties.
Okay. So there's no real timeline out there for when we would get,
Not right
well,
now.
not right now. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Have we received any public comments or any feedback on this?
No.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, before starting public testimony, I'd like to remind each person, when you come to the podium, you must state your name. Or please remember to only address the commission, not the audience or application. Applicant or representative, you have 3 minutes to testify and will be asked to stop when time runs out. Keep questions and comments pertinent to the application. Do not duplicate questions, concerns, or comments covered by previous testimony. Is there anybody that's in support of the application? I think we have anybody here at all. Anybody uncommitted? Anybody opposing? Applicant, no rebuttal, I assume. Okay, with no further discussion, I declare the public hearing closed. How does the commission wish to proceed?
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion to approve the zoning map amendment application from Brandes Fossis to rezone the subject property from commercial general to residential medium density single family, finding the application meets the standards for approval under section 17.02.170.e of Pocatello City Code, and authorize the chair to sign the findings of fact and recommendation.
I second that motion.
I have a motion by Hewlett and a second by Gomez. Aislinn,
Hewlett,
Yes.
Gomez,
Yes.
Bartu,
Yes.
Steyer,
yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Valladolid.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 4. Public hearing for preliminary plat. This time has been set aside for the commission to hear comments from the public regarding a preliminary plat application submitted by Ben Johnson representing Johnson Contracting Engineering, Inc. The subject property located at 800 block of Barton Road, northwest of Cowboy Mobile Home Park, and more specifically known as Parcel R, PCPP 106404, entails 1.1 acres more or less and is zoned residential, commercial, professional, RCP, with a future land destination of mixed use. The request is to subdivide the subject parcel into 13 townhomes and 2 storm waste non-billable lots. This time I declare the public hearing open. I'd like to invite applicant up.
Good evening, Ben Johnson, Johnson Contracting and Engineering. As indicated, we've put together a preliminary plat for the subject property on Barton Road. That would be consisting of 13 townhouse units. We've worked with the planning department to develop our preliminary plat to meet the municipal code, and we'd just like your approval on that. So,
Does anybody have any questions for applicant?
I have a question. In the staff report, they do have some development conditions. Have you read through those? Are you okay with those conditions?
I've read through those, and we will be able to incorporate those into our final plat.
Okay, including, they've highlighted number 5 here about common meter size of all details to city standards. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank
Any
you.
other questions?
That sounds like it.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair, Commission members, Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner with the city. As noted before you is request for a preliminary plat approval of a subdivision be known as Barton Villas. The proposal calls for the platting of 1.10 acres more or less into 13 townhome lots and 2 stormwater non-buildable lots, off-street parking, and a proposed public road extending from Barton Road. The project is generally located in the 800 block of Barton Road, northwest of Cowboy Mobile Home Park. As noted, it is currently zoned residential RCP, which allows the proposed townhomes outright. The applicant is desirous in utilizing the infill development standards as set forth under Title 17. The minimum lot size under the underlying zoning would be 3630. However, 60% reduction is permitted, allowing for a minimum lot size of 2178. All townhome lots are proposed to encompass at least 2,613 square feet. Portions of the proposed lot or proposed subdivision have slopes exceeding 15%. Thus, a slope analysis has been included in the application packet for review. Of the 1.10 acres, 1.10 acres more or less, a total of 0.42 acres must remain undisturbed. However, you may note in the staff, let's see if I can copy of the plat. However, in this case, the staff, based on aerial photography, finds that there's enough evidence to show that at least 0.47 acres more or less has already been disturbed compared to the engineer's slope analysis. Therefore, the no-bill grade line on the preliminary plat is sufficient to meet the minimum undisturbed. The Idaho State Board of Education owns the land adjacent to and north of the subject site. Staff has recommended that the development of the subject parcel may restrict future public access to the adjacent parcel. Therefore, the developer has agreed to construct a public road from Barton Road to the Idaho State Board of Education land. Such extension fulfills a goal of providing connectivity as provided in a comprehensive plan. All property owners within a 300-foot radius have been informed of the public hearing, as well as notice published in Idaho State Journal and a sign posted on the site. Staff did receive one phone call on December 10th regarding the request, at which time your packet that's before you was emailed to them. Have not heard anything since. That concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
No, go ahead.
So a couple questions for you. On this, so the lines that are on the slope that are above that, those are left over from the flood lines that were dug back in the,
Yeah, they're the
okay.
CCs.
Do they constitute previously disturbed? Does that make it? They do not?
No.
Okay. Okay, that was my first question. I wasn't sure if they would because all the
Yeah,
around
this whole
here do.
valley is full.
This whole valley, yeah, they did the whole valley. And then, so this, the road that's gonna possibly connect for future, is that I didn't drive up that, to be honest. Is that the one that goes up and snakes up to the Performing Arts Center?
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah?
of in that area. So
Okay, yeah.
it's on that far side.
Yeah.
And just for just
It's a
general.
four-wheel drive road. I mean,
Yeah, just like general information for the commission. When I first started here years ago, there was talk of extending what they called Sam Nixon Way all the way from there. This is really the last piece that would allow that. Whether it happens or not is questionable.
Who knows?
But at least it doesn't cut it off.
Okay.
And so we think that at staff level, and as noted in talking with Mr. Johnson, they're amenable to doing
Okay.
that. So, like I said, it does meet the criteria under the.
That if someday we wanted to build that out, that goes
Doesn't
up through
cut it
that gully
off.
up there,
It can.
it could
Yeah,
connect to
It could
that.
have a secondary access from, from the north.
Normally I would have gone up and wandered around, but the second question I have, what about, is that a road or is that a trail that takes off to the left around the front part of that?
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
a
a trail?
combo trail, yeah.
Is that where the trail that goes behind the cemetery comes out?
Yeah.
kind of there?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's farther
Sure,
to the,
sure.
to the east.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, it's obvious that it's, the public's been, basically
Traipsing around out there,
trespassing
yeah, yeah.
for-
Well, yeah.
For many years.
Yes, and probably would
And
like
this
to
is-
continue
this imagery is
trespassing,
from
but,
2004.
okay.
So, and you can go back and it goes all the way back to 1959, and you can see it's been disturbed like that for many years.
It's been like that for a while. Okay. Is there going to be any connection to that where it's not approved, it's going across private land? I mean,
Well,
is there
only
part of a
what-
trail?
Only on what's shown on the plat.
Okay, all right. Thank you, that's all I have.
Chairman, I'd like,
You have a question? Go ahead.
just a note here, the Intermountain Gas, have they responded as to whether they'll
Yeah, they did.
put it into the,
That's going to be the responsibility of, the developer will have to coordinate with the Intermountain Gas.
but I mean, to run it to the area, I mean, in the
It's
street?
typically, that would be the responsibility. The Intermountain Gas will do the work, but typically the developer will have to pay for that.
Okay,
And
okay.
they're going to have to coordinate that.
I mean, I've had instances where they wouldn't extend the line any further than where they were, and their properties were left without natural gas, so
Yeah.
this is not the case. You will
They'll have to
bring it in
extend it,
and,
yes. That was why that was what their response was to staff.
all right.
Any further questions? from anybody? Thank you. Okay, reminder, come to the podium, please state your name. Remember to only address the commission, not the audience or applicant. You have 3 minutes to testify. Keep questions pertinent to the application, and do not duplicate questions, concerns, or comments. Do we have anybody that's in support of the application? Anybody uncommitted? Committed? Anybody opposing? I assume the applicant doesn't have rebuttal to any of those comments? At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. How would the commission like to proceed?
I would like to make a motion to approve the preliminary plat application from Ben Johnson for the Barton Villa subdivision, finding the application does meet the standards for approval under Chapter 16.20.050 of Pocatello Municipal Code, with the conditions listed in the staff report, and to authorize the chair to sign the findings of fact and decision.
I second the motion.
I have a motion by Hewlett and a second by Mendoza. Aislinn?
Hewitt,
Yes.
Mendoza,
Yes.
Bartu,
Yes.
Gomez,
Yes.
Fire,
Yes.
Delatorre.
Yes.
I think that's it. That we can adjourn.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
It's a good time to break these new ones in, then.
Way too-
Clarification.